What's going on YouTube? It's Mike here. Today guys, in this video we're going to be comparing Apple's current iPhone lineup, the iPhone 6 Plus, the iPhone 6, the iPhone 5S, and the iPhone 5C. So we have all of the devices lined up here. This is Apple's current smartphone lineup that they offer. These are all of the current ones. I did a video like this last year that you guys really liked, so I figured I'd come back and do it once again. So last year's lineup, we had the iPhone 5S, the iPhone 5C, the iPhone 5, and the iPhone 4S. And this year it's a little bit different. Now we got the new two iPhone 6s, the iPhone 6 Plus and the standard iPhone 6. And so I'm going to be doing a bunch of stuff in this video, comparing all of their specs. We're going to do some speed tests near the end and all that information and stuff that you guys would like to know. So first I want to talk about all the information regarding these devices. So again, the iPhone 6 Plus, the iPhone 6, the 5S, and the 5C. Now I'm going to go over all their starting prices. The 6 Plus is the most expensive with the starting price of $299 at 16 gigs on contract. The 6 starts at $199, 16 gigs on contract, and this is all US dollars by the way. The iPhone 5S starts at just $99, 16 gig on contract, and the 5C is only available in 8 gigs and is free on contract. Now, the 6 and 6 Plus come in 16, 64, and 128 gig size options. The 5S comes in 16 or 32. They've pulled off 64. And the 5C is only available, like I said, in 8 gigs. And in terms of colors, all three phones here, excluding the 5C, that's the 6 Plus, the 6, and the 5S, are available in silver, gold, and space gray finishes. And the 5C is available in white, pink, yellow, blue, and green. I have the blue one here, and of the 3 other iPhones, I have the gold finishes. Both the iPhone 6 Plus and the iPhone 6 pack Apple's A8 chip with the M8 Motion coprocessor. The iPhone 5S packs the A7 chip with the Apple M7 coprocessor, Motion coprocessor, and the iPhone 5C just has the A6 chip with no Motion coprocessor since it wasn't introduced at that time. Now let's talk about displays. The 6 Plus features a 5.5-inch Retina HD display. That's what Apple's calling it, Retina HD versus a standard Retina display. The iPhone 6 features a 4.7-inch Retina HD display as well. The iPhone 5S features just a Retina 4-inch display, and the 5C offers the exact same thing, a 4-inch Retina display. The 6 Plus comes in at 1920 by 1080 pixel resolution at 401 pixels per inch. The 6 comes in at 1334 by 750 pixel resolution at 326 pixels per inch. The 5S comes in at 1136 by 640 pixel resolution at 326 pixels per inch. And last but not, well, actually, as a matter of fact, the 5C is the exact same thing. Don't have to go over that again. And there are two new features. There's actually one feature that is available on both of the iPhone 6s called reachability, which will actually lower the device's screen and make things easier for you to use. That's not featured on the iPhone 5S or the iPhone 5C as their displays are much smaller. Now let's talk about design. The iPhone 6 Plus and the iPhone 6 both feature the exact same design except one's bigger and one's smaller, and that's basically a brand new design compared to what the iPhone 5S and even the iPhone 5 had. As you could see, they've got rid of that regular two-tone design where the glass would be on the top and bottom. The antenna bands are there now in place of that, but it's all just a complete metal finish now, which is really nice. One of my most favorite features of the design. You'll also see that the gold is a little bit more vibrant versus the 5S. And there's been other little changes here and there. They've fixed the dual flash on both iPhone 6s. It's now rounded versus the pill that we got on the 5S. But both feature all four, as a matter of fact, feature pretty much the same things. They all have 8 meg cameras on the back, and they all have the microphones in between the flash sensors as well. They all have lightning connectors, 3.5mm headphone jacks. They have their speaker and microphone all on the bottom. The difference in power buttons as well, I want to go over that too, is on the 5C and 5S you have the power buttons on the top, and on the 6 Plus and 6 you now have the power buttons moved to the right side versus the top. It's a little bit easier since there's a bigger screen. And on the 6 and 6 Plus, the volume buttons are more recessed and they're thinned out, kind of like the iPod Touch 5G. And then if we go over to something like the 5S, we have the circle buttons from the iPhone 4. And on the 5C, again, we have those rounded buttons. And on the 6 Plus, the 6, and the 5S, you'll have these nice metal finishes. And on the 5C, you'll have the plastic back finish. On the front of the devices, the first three, the 6 Plus, the 6, and the 5S, all feature the Touch ID fingerprint sensor right inside of the home button, and the 5C still features Apple's standard home button that's been in place since the original iPhone. What's really cool is both iPhone 6s have been enabled with Apple's own technology, which will work for Apple Pay when it is released in October. All four are available on the basic carriers AT&T, Sprint, T-Mobile, Verizon, and Unlocked if you want to go with that as well, and SIM-free. There are other little features also within the cameras here and there, but basically the cameras have stayed the same. Like, these 6s have focus pixels. The 6 Plus's lens actually moves in all sorts of directions to make focusing a lot faster since it's a bigger phone. But you know, pretty much they're still the same. The front cameras are just about the same. They say they're improved in some places, but you're not going to be seeing huge differences, as they've had 8 megapixels in their back camera, especially since the iPhone 4S. So you won't notice a huge difference there. Alright, and so now we're going to see how long they take to power up, so we're going to press those power buttons in 3, 2, 1. Alright, and there we go. So they have some weird startup times, like some come on quicker like the 6s and some take longer to actually come on and respond to the power button being pressed. So this might take some time. I have a feeling the 6 Plus is going to come in first. Okay, the 6 Plus came in first, not surprised. The 6 followed right after. The 5S came in just after the 2. And the 5C finally comes at the very end. Alright, so that was pretty interesting. So that just goes to show you, it looks like the 6 Plus is going to be the fastest, even though they both feature the same chip. None is faster than the other. They both have 1 gig of RAM, the same processor and everything. So I'm not really sure. I mean, it's a bigger phone, it's more expensive, so yeah, it boots up a little bit faster. So now we're on the home screens of all 4 devices, and we're going to do some speed tests in Safari, and we're going to see just how fast some basic and even more complex web pages load. We're going to see how fast Apple.com loads in 3, 2, 1. And so, wow, that was really quick. From the corner of my eye, I saw the 6 Plus come in the fastest. I'm going to have to play back and actually see what happened there. But they all loaded pretty damn quickly. They're all on my Wi-Fi connection, which the router is right in my office. So that was really actually very, very fast how it loaded. Which is really interesting to see, because you'd think on older devices it would be a little bit slower, but you'll be surprised they're not that slow. And now we're going to try Disney.com, a little bit more complex, in 3, 2, 1. Okay, the 6 came in first. I'm not sure if it was the 5S or 6 Plus first. I think it may have been the 5S, then the 6 Plus, and the 5C came in at the very end. So that was a bit interesting. Obviously, one of these would have to come in first since they're the fastest, and that in that case happened to be the 6, and then the 6 Plus followed, or the 5S. It was about at the same time, and then the 5C followed at the end. And now we're going to try my own YouTube URL, youtube.com/Mike, see how fast it loads in 3, 2, 1. Okay, 6, 6 Plus, or 5S, I couldn't tell, but the 5C is still going. Man, these two guys are fast. The 5C is still going. I guess it's just a server error at this point. Oh, and there it goes. Comes in at the very end right there. But you just saw how fast they went. Obviously, the 6 is having some advantage right now. I don't know why, but it's got a hell of a strong signal. And the 6 Plus followed at this exact same time as the 5S, and then the 5C followed at the very end. So that's pretty much it in terms of speed tests, guys. I pretty much showed you everything. We talked about specs, we talked about just about everything. We'll put them up side by side just for the end so you guys have an idea of what the 4 look like together. There you go. There you can see we've obviously come a long way and evolved a lot, or at least Apple has for that matter. But pretty much, you know, not a lot was changed with the iPhone 6 internally. You know, iOS is still the same. Obviously, the design is very different from what we've had in the past. But everything still stays pretty much the same. If you already know how to use an iPhone, then you know how to use an iPhone 6 or 6 Plus. They're just a lot nicer looking, which is an absolute bonus, since you're going to be spending quite some money, especially on the 6 Plus, or, you know, upgrading from a newer model. I think if you're anything below an iPhone 5S user, even if you have the iPhone 5C, if you have the iPhone 5C, I'd say the iPhone 6 or 6 Plus is a fantastic upgrade. If you're on an iPhone 5S, it might not be the time yet. You might want to wait till something like the 6S that might come out next year. I'm already getting ready to speculate, guys. but it is really a fantastic upgrade that is definitely worth it. So far, it's been a really nice phone. If you have anything lower, like I said, than the iPhone 5S, and that includes the iPhone 5C, if you have the 5 or even something as low as the 4S or 4, then it's time for an upgrade, and this is the way to go. They're really nice phones, both the iPhone 6 Plus and the iPhone 6. I've loved them so far. So I figured I'd compare them, like I said, to the previous generation, or the last two phones that Apple introduced last year, because, you know, they're doing this thing now where they're introducing 2 new phones every year. Last year's case was the iPhone 5S and the iPhone 5C. This year it's the 6 Plus and 6. You can see last year's predecessors are just a bit slower than what we have on this year's, which is really great to see. I know that doesn't sound good, but it's great to see that Apple is still able to improve speeds, and that will hopefully continue as we go on. But anyways, guys, that is it. That is the iPhone 6 Plus versus the iPhone 6 versus the iPhone 5S and versus the iPhone 5C. I hope you guys enjoyed this major comparison. If you liked this video, please leave some comments below on your thoughts. Smash that like button if you appreciate this video. It helps me out a lot. And of course, click that subscribe button below to stay tuned to a ton more iPhone 6 and iPhone 6 Plus coverage that I have coming this weekend, as well as into this week as well. So stay tuned for that, and thank you guys for watching, and I will see you in the next video.